What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be talking about Corsair Gaming. We're going to be taking a look at their fundamentals, technicals, and going over their overall setup. So we're not going to waste any time, so let's get right into it. So Corsair is I guess you could say like a company that focuses on computers, gaming, streaming equipment, and a bunch of things in that industry. I am someone who is extremely bullish on the gaming / esports industry over the next 5 to 10 years. There are a lot of big companies getting into the space, and just recently we actually saw Microsoft attempt to take over Activision and buy them out. So I think that's also sending a pretty big signal across the world that, even some of the largest tech companies now are starting to get their hands a little bit in the esports industry. So in my opinion, that's a good sign. But either way, I'm pretty bullish on that industry overall. Corsair is one of the leading companies in the gaming industry. They do have some pretty fierce competition with Logitech. I actually like both Logitech and Corsair, but we're going to focus on Corsair today. Like I said, they have a lot to do with computers, streaming equipment, and things like that. And I actually use a lot of Corsair and Logitech products. The computer I'm recording this on right now was made by Corsair, so that's good to see. But shifting over into some of Corsair's fundamentals, they just reported earnings the other day. Their stock is looking pretty good so far over like the past couple weeks. It's a growth company. Like if we look at its chart, we can see that it has had some wild swings over the past couple years. They started out around like $14 or so, ran all the way up to 51, and they were just at lows of like 17 or 18 the other day, and now they're around 22. So they've been all over the place, but overall they're definitely uptrending, which is good to see. Going back to some of their fundamentals, we can see how over the years their revenue has definitely been increasing. Back in 2018, they had an annual revenue of around $938 million. And over the past year, they had an annual revenue of $1.9 billion. So that's good to see. The revenues are definitely increasing. Their cash flow has been all over the place. They are a growth company, which is expected. It's not like we're analyzing Apple here, but still, their cash flow is all over the place. Ideally, we would like to see that in the positive. Their quarterly revenue has been uptrending for the most part, but it has had some, I guess you can say, peaks and valleys. Part of this is because when COVID hit, obviously that screwed a lot of things up, not just for Corsair, but for the entire world. So, and you could see like in the late quarters of 2020, how their revenue just ballooned. Like it exploded, and then it ended up settling down just a little bit. Basically, when everyone was locked in their homes, people were buying computer equipment, one for gaming and streaming, but also a lot of people needed, better computer equipment to work from home. So that definitely explains the jump in revenue in the late quarters of 2020. But it is good to see that we are seeing a strong recovery in the most recent quarter. So revenue is pretty good in that sense. Their net income's decent. It was like around $100 million, which is good over the past year, but it's not great. So yeah, that's good. My favorite part about Corsair, Corsair's valuation right now, is they're trading for around a $2 billion valuation, and their revenue is $1.9 billion. So their price to sales ratio is only 1.9, which is so low. Like, that is so low. A 1.9 price to sales ratio is insane for a growth company. So I really like Corsair's current valuation, because if they can continue to grow revenue and increase their profits, it should be a massive winner. I own Corsair stock. I've been selling puts on Corsair stock, and it's a longer term play. Anything can happen in the short term, but with the way the gaming industry has been growing, with some of the moves Corsair has been making, I definitely see their revenue increasing over the future. I use their products. I also use Logitech products, but it's a long-term play for me, and I think the biggest asset is the price to sales ratio of it being so low. Like, it's like their valuation's pretty, it's pretty conservative, especially for a growth company. So I really like that. We just obviously need their profits to increase over the years. But here's the cool thing. So if we look at the revenues right here to the right, we can see like the annual revenue was around 1.9 billion over the past year. Corsair expects their annual revenue for 2022 to be between 1.9 billion and 2.1 billion dollars, which is great. But what's even better is that by 2026, Corsair expects a annual revenue of $3.5 billion. So, I don't want to get too greedy and with estimates, because companies miss estimates all the time. But still, if Corsair had $3.5 billion in revenue by 2026, that'd be pretty awesome. And especially with the current price to sales ratio, that's a pretty good deal in my opinion. But again, it's just an estimate, so we have to take it with a grain of salt. We could also look at their investor day, I guess you could say, presentation. We could see in 2021 their net revenues grew at 11.8%, which is good. Their revenues exploded in 2020, which is expected as everything with COVID happened, and the gaming industry has been exploding, and people needed to buy better computer equipment to efficiently work from home. So that's something to keep in mind. But overall, one bad thing with Corsair is that their cash flow was in the negative over the past year, but they said part of their, I guess you can say, part of their business had a lot of increased costs, especially when it came to the logistics side of things, especially with shipping. We can see right here, they said in the second half of 2021, ocean freight costs per container were running as much as 4 to 5 times above the normal pre-pandemic levels. So it's insane. I've been reading a little bit into how the container costs for shipping things. It's been ballooning at a crazy pace. So that definitely doesn't hurt. But then again, these shortages should not last forever. And as prices, I guess you can say, stabilize with everything going on, that should help bring Corsair to a, I guess you can say, a better gross margin. So that's always good to see. One of Corsair's largest competitors is Logitech. I also use Logitech products. Logitech is a little bit more established than Corsair, to be completely honest with everyone. Logitech is a bigger company. They are in a better financial position, and they definitely do have a higher price to sales ratio. Theirs is around 2.3, which is over double what Corsair's is. But then again, Logitech is in a better position fundamentally. Their cash flow has been consistently in the positive. Their revenue's booming. They're just in a better position. They're a more established company. I own Logitech and Corsair for the long term. So I figured I'd share that, but overall I'm definitely bullish on both of these companies. Looking more at Corsair, we can see their stock has been all over the place. So if we see this chart right here, we've been bouncing off of a pretty big support right around $18 over the past couple weeks. We're just under that $22 resistance. So I would say $22 is a pretty big resistance level to watch out for. We also have some upcoming resistance right around 25 to even 28.30. So definitely keep that on your radar. 25 will be a pretty important level, and if we do break above that, watch right around 28 to 28.30. And if we come back down, there is a pretty big support at 19 and 18. So overall, it's looking pretty good. I'm pretty bullish on Corsair and Logitech for the coming years. I feel like the esports industry has so much growth potential, and it's already growing at a crazy pace. Both of these companies are trading at some pretty good valuations, in my opinion. Considering how much growth potential that they both have, I feel like the price to sales ratio that they are both trading at right now is pretty conservative, and especially Logitech, they're printing money, so that's good. Corsair is good too. Logitech's current valuation is around $13.6 billion, where Corsair's valuation is only around $2 billion. So there's definitely a bit of a discrepancy there, but still, they're two good companies. I like them both for the long term. Let me know what you guys think about Corsair and Logitech in the comments down below, and if you're going to buy them, And also, if you're looking to analyze any company like I analyzed Corsair today, definitely check out that first link in the description down below. You can type in any stock ticker and instantly get access to the most important data and find out what's driving that stock. For example, if I type in Logitech right now onto the dashboard, within seconds I can see the most important financial data that is driving this company. Basically, this dashboard saves you a ton of time and it shows you exactly what you need to know. We have some awesome updates in the works, and we're cheaper than our competitors. So definitely check it out. First link in the description down below. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching.